part one section. And let's go to TV. Oh, let's do this part. Bring it up a little bit. Oh, yeah. Got it right now. It's busy setting up the. There we go. Okay, this is some commentary about something. Who won? Now, this serves every single person in America right for having a bias one way or another. They're all just and these people speculate, they're the worst speculators. It's almost like speculating contest. Who speculates the best, do you think, of all these things? I don't know who these broads are, but you know what? It's like, wearing the right makeup and the right outfit. It's a lot better to have the formal education at some nation college. Just whoever they bend over on their knees and pop in the slot machine. They got this other decent job. Other types that basically put that Weintraub or whatever his name is, Weinstein in jail. They're responsible. They're working. Properly for women, you gotta be careful. Yeah, maybe that Weinstein guy maybe did like 5 or 10, 15, 20. And now I'm either gonna pop out of the woodwork and say, wait a minute, they are not gonna miss the beat. It's a woman's world, dude. Nothing wrong. My mother would my friend. Now my grandmother has something to say. I don't know how they're a predator like that. Here. I don't get this guy. Like a wolf in the snow. Come over there. Oh, it's my friend. You know I'm taking out that guy. He's a wrestler. Oh, he's hot.
Don't drink and debate who won the debates. Don't drink and debate how we're going to vote this year.
There is no debate. Yeah, you know what? I'm sure all the celebrities are tired of it. Let's look at people we're not really happy with. But 2021, this is what's got to go. This station just is irritating altogether. I don't like it. This is pretty good. Oh, my entire television is sort of set up in a way where all the channels are off, and some channels are just basically programmed for me to see as suggested ideas. The whole world is filled with suggestions that I ignore and constantly just basically downgrade because they're insults to my intelligence. And I'll show you. Sometimes things like this, I don't even get. And none of this makes sense. All those little hints, all those subtleties are like the worst. I wouldn't even think any of these things. Whoever in charge of any of this, and they really want to be with me. There's not one person in the world who has a desire other than to be with me immediately right away. And there's no desire, just come and do it. If they're blocked by some sort of traffic or, I'm sorry, nobody gets a condition with me. There's no condition. There's no spiritual. There's no condition. I wasn't mean to somebody who loved me. Somebody was just basically dishonest. Period. They were mean to me. So if you're supporting something because you love it, your rights, you think I should. Everything took care of him from the first half, and when I couldn't do it anymore, you guys pick up the slack, and you think there's something wrong with me. Thanks a lot. And then now I gotta fix myself because I got him to you. I got him right to you. So you can take care of that. Now what am I responsible? What are you trying to do by oppressing me? Because I got him to you. Why is he more important than anybody else that's trying to help her? Why isn't their love just as important? My love to anyone that I don't know. And why does he get the attention? Because he's pouting or he's whining about something that I supposedly in his design wasn't able to accomplish, which I don't accomplish people's designs based on something that I will never do in the first place. Accept it.
I couldn't figure her out yet. I wanted to see her the way Johnny had. I wanted to
see, there we go. Every time I see the name Johnny's ruined the name Johnny. The name Johnny hasn't been ruined. What was the last thing that used to bother me to do it over and over again to drive you nuts? And I was like, if I hear this name one more time, it's never, I can't stand it. Everything about him I reject now because I've been back. Everyone thinks, well, everybody goes, I don't want him. There's nothing, it's not because I don't, there's nothing wrong with him. Yes, there is. Something wrong with anybody that just thinks this is okay. He does have something wrong. I had nothing wrong with him doing. He'd never come into my life. All he just come and say hello, I'm the guy that afford it. And nothing. All you are is dishonest people supporting a dishonest person. You can be honest with each other. You have not a clue what honesty is to start with. I wouldn't trust any of you with each other. Period. So that's all out based on that design. There is no design. Your design basically in the long run is to be afraid and not know how to express yourself and trying to learn through me. You're not gonna get a goddamn thing. I will go without a level for 30 years before I give you guys any more information that's constructive. If anything, I give you all kinds of confusion, everything, and there's nothing gonna happen. You cannot block a level for me. I block every possible good level for you. Because the good lovers are the ones who I trust are the smart ones, not for me to be with, but definitely not to be with you. So, whatever you got, it's not going to be, it's definitely low grade compared to what you could have. That I know trust me, and they don't necessarily have to be compatible, but they're very smart, beautiful people, and I'm fine with that. I'm a little bit way more mature than this. I'll post that later. I am my phone, but it's not live right now. Not gonna go 30 minutes either. This is gonna turn on. Hello, clean my door? Okay. Thank you. You like Jonathan? I know everybody loves the guy who wants. Make sure they understand that I'm a fair person. So if he's not the person I want to be fair with, I want to be fair with everybody. I love just as much. So I didn't hurt his feelings. I don't know what he's doing. I love him too. I love him for being who he is. I hope he's happy. I've said it 1,000 times. Where's the conflict, Oscar? Yeah, wait, it's all been recorded. I'll post it down in about 10, 20 minutes. I have to get this out in a very, very, very respectful manner. He's not my type right now, John. He never was my type, to be honest with you. Never. We're not compatible. Otherwise, he'd be here. No one's compatible without sitting here and being honest with me and connecting with you. And all this means no compatibility with him. That's all in terms of sexual. Nothing. Not even as a friend. Worse. And anyone that is following this as a design and in the future to change their lives, nothing in my life I've ever done has been premeditated like that. That's self-defeat. You guys have no idea what the outcome's going to be because it's something I would never choose. If I would expect to think that way, the outcome will be terrible. You're stuck with what you paid for. You're stuck with who you are. And it's still superficial. I would avoid all that. It's so deluded. And these are people who know that for real, and they're just actually manipulating you guys to do things because it buys them time to take care of what they need. It's all money versus money, and who has the most and who's in control and who's in charge. What do you think? And who are the bad guys? So who's got the most money in there? And who wants it? Who's working for who? There's not one shred of love in there, and that's one shred of decency. You can't use this guy out here struggling and give me obstacles more so than just that alone. Just thinking about it as an obstacle and not anything else. Thank you. I'll add to it. That's a sad thing to start with. So this will be shared. The fact that you don't know how to fix this, and the fact that you are blocked just because it's about money, and you want to make sure that nobody understands. They don't understand you. I'm a secret, so everybody else has a secret too. I'll take the sexiest, craziest, bravest one of all. The one that doesn't give a fuck. They will come right here to this room and not think about it. I only want that kind of person. There's nothing else I'm compatible with than a brave person. So when that's available, she probably isn't even a part of that because they wouldn't deal with any of that. It would give them headaches. No one's that immature that I want. That's exactly what that would be, an illustration. And based on what you have already, I can see why there's all kinds of animosity or hiding or not necessarily being upfront about anything. It's the easiest way out. Failure. So failure is a quick loss in a world where you're competing just with yourselves anyway. My timing's never changed. I still have something unusual or something unexpected every day that you can't control. I'm always gonna hurt your feelings because you have none. I'm always gonna make you upset because you have never ever, it's so strange that you've never gone through this. No one's ever been honest. Everyone's sugarcoated everything, or either I had fear around John. Either they feared him, or they just gave him, whatever you wanted to hear. You know what's really sad about that? Now I'm trying to give you something that's constructive. By doing this, you're not gonna. This should give you strength. But you're hanging out with people that don't have that. They're just bringing him down. And honestly, you guys are way behind on this. I'm trying to get you. It's impossible not to talk to a phone and do all this. To me, it's condescending. It's this whole design that they have. Who is it? Who has a design? Daniel? Who? What person with wisdom thinks this is a good idea? I guarantee you, they have no clue what they're talking about. They do. They're just manipulating and buying themselves certain times. It is who can even outdo who we think who. And we're in that world. I'm glad I don't have to see it. It'll drive me in. I would want to hang out with it. It would be worse when I'm sitting here and having to deal with it face to face. It's not one person who wouldn't even think that any of that would work, and maybe somebody as smarter than me. This is a friend to start with. I'm like a great plus if they had a lot of money and they could just get me out of here and take care of things. Of course, they'd be happy all the time. Right now they're with it by that trust, they're with what doesn't trust anyway. You're just with the same type of people. You're trusting to distrust, and it's actually worse to be around the person you pretty much want to be brave to be with. And no one's trying to make a difference in my life. You're not even here. So you're physically next to me, you're not making a difference at all. To guess who you are, I'm going to guess the wrong person constantly, because that's obvious. I would, because I don't think any of you trust yourself enough to know that I know that already. So nobody gets to be the number one pick until they make themselves that way. You become the number one pick and come and make sure I see that. That's the kind of personality you have to be with me. It's not about your looks. You lost it. Jonathan lost it. Oscar lost it. A long time ago. I haven't missed a thing. I can't still waiting around for me to try to explain what happened. Why worry about it? It was your choice. You saw that we were incompatible too, so don't worry about it. You made the choice that we were incompatible. I accepted your rejection. You got the rejection in first, and I'm comfortable with it. It's okay. It's better. You don't have to worry about conflict in your past. But since you created one, then you know how to do that for the next 50 people in line for you. Every time you can just do it until you get what you want. And they're all prepared for that as well to listen to this. And you never know that's going to be either. And the person that's with you, God forbid, knows that now that it's a pattern, but they don't. I don't know what you've done to brainwash them, besides basically. Why in the world would you need you're not even going to get any validation or any kind of acceptance from me until I even know what your situation is honestly. Because I don't know anybody's situation honestly. Well, you're not going to get anything that's made up. I just don't know. I'll decide not to know. And I don't miss any of it now. This is what it led to. That's usually what I expect to see coming. And in this case, I wasn't disappointed. Disappointed in some way. Because I hate to think that it was premeditated. If it was, what the hell are you doing out there? So, you don't have anything better than me. If anything, you have a whole clusterfuck of what I wouldn't want to be with. for the reason that I grew up a long time ago. I was with people like that all the time. I never had a conflict, except with basically if they were just a little bit too cynical or too cocky, and in the long run, it wasn't a turn on. It was a major turn on. I don't want to be. And anyone. Oh, Daniel, all of you guys are just being so completely rude. You haven't grown up ever. I wasn't with you because you were attractive. Not at all. I wasn't with you because you were young. That's not true at all. Not at all. That was not my choice. It was yours. And I said, okay. Everything was facilitated by you guys. Every single one of you. I was just nice. And you knew you were getting a friendship with a gay person. And you stuck it out. And when you were gone, as long as there wasn't a conflict, I gave you faith. And if there was a conflict and it was unresolved, I knew what you were doing. You're trying to control. Something, in other words, you were insecure. And want to see my insecurities should be played on. Insecurities. All I did was worry about where you're going to go in the future. And so I put you there anyway, so at least you're secure in that sense. No less of a way you could have done it on your own without me. Don't worry, at least I did that part. And yes, it's not an accident. I was cognizant of every choice I've ever made. If I introduced you to a person in a bar or getting out of life to this man, the chances of you not ever seeing you after that is a great possibility. Do you understand? At that very moment, I accepted that. And New York City. It wasn't an accident. Just that alone should let you know and how nice it was, how amicable it was here. I didn't there wasn't into I was out the dam. Nothing that was resolved. But the friendship, it came back, and whenever you needed the friendship as a foundation, that remained. We had to go to jail through all those. All I had was that. At least he had that until it was unnecessary, until he couldn't handle the fact. And then I moved on to somebody else that was sexually attracted to, who caught my attention, and I was spending time with them. That filled the void of what was lost. And for the most part, it wasn't a loss for either of us. If you're not content with the path you chosen, then what's your problem? You want to know all of your living fantasy world is they could have living that be backwards living of you. Truly, not. The only thing I ever wanted as a human being was a mature understanding that we don't have to walk away with something negative. If that's what you choose to do, then right now you're the worst possible choice for anybody. And I can't help anybody else, I'm not worried about that. So you're removing all the possibilities I don't want anyway. Not one way, there's no way in the world you're blocking me from someone else to be with me. You couldn't. It wouldn't happen. If they're uncertain and they're not with me, then they've already showed me that they're not compatible with me either, unless they basically are being respectful and seeing if there's no possible way out. I do not have an agenda with any one particular person right now. Period. But yet there are people in my mind that will quickly get a yes if they search the forefront. And right now it's not anybody that I've had to go through and come out with a conflict with like this. That's part of something when I already let go of it. The other ones I didn't let go of were friends. We hadn't gone any further than that. But yet the possibility still existed, so that's still an hope for them, either which way it goes, but there's no conflict with either which way, whatever way it goes. Things got intimate with them, things got intimate with Brandon, things got intimate with Oscar, things got intimate to a place where it was a different level, but it was not complete because it couldn't go any further with your distress, and I had to be cautious with it because I wouldn't be able to carry it. So that's what you've got. So everybody else out there never had that as an ending, as a possibility. Never. There was no conflict. No conflict right now with Tommy. None. No one in my past has that. Even when Robert was here, I just really wasn't. It wasn't. I wasn't there at the moment. It wasn't something that I would jump on at that moment because I have a need to have a physical contact with somebody. Maybe the last person I was with, at least fill that randomness or spontaneous. Took care of a moment that just filled that void for a minute. I just didn't know. I wasn't trying to. I'm not just going to commit to somebody without having those feelings that I had before. And those feelings are basically complicated, abstract, designed to be met by on another level. It's already been established in several directions, but it's already in a great possibility. Every place where I'm right now is a great place. Anyone that's open without conflict, but wants it, and they're not going to judge me by how I look right now because I'm just being lazy as sin, going as slow as possible because there's nothing I can hope to accomplish out of this except at least you have the awareness. If I have to explain it over and over again, I don't have to. People that are out there that are objective, you know what I'm saying, and repeat the same thing and tell you over and over again. You don't have a conflict with them, just let them go. No problem, don't worry about it. From there. And you have some sort of setup in your mind to do me an enormous favor in the future. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to, take off to some mountain in Arizona and just hide or something, or Colorado and won't be able to find me in a cabin somewhere. I think I'll be available in time. Stay out of my personal life. Not my personal life anymore. Since you obviously know that you're not here, not in my personal life. This is not being part of my personal life at all. And you're not blocking it because everything that's not here is not what I want. I'm making one more validation that my personal life is wide open for a new beginning for those who basically know they have a conflict to start with. Thank you. And with that being said, I'll fix it later.